Hey guys, my name is Patrick Skinner, and today I'm going to show you how to send an HTML-based email using Monday.com automations with Integromat. Now, before we get into it, please like and subscribe this video so that I can continue to produce content that helps you build better automations for your business. Now, let's talk about the use case. The use case for this is, why would we send HTML-based emails? Well, maybe you have a call to action that you want to add in the email. Or you could just want a well-designed email to send out as a marketing blast while using Monday.com. There's a very, very wide range of possibilities as to why you want to send an HTML-based email. I always rate these automations from a scale level of 1 to 3 of technical knowledge required to be able to execute something like this. Level 1 means you need very basic technical knowledge to execute it. Level 2 means you need some technical knowledge and understanding on how to basically follow directions that on a technical level. Number 3, you need a basic understanding of JSON or Python or some sort of programming language in order to be able to execute this type of task. In this case, this is a scale level 2 that might be on the border of being just a level 1. The only difficult part about this is you might need a little bit of understanding of how to use HTML. Without any further ado, let's get into it. First thing you need is a Monday.com account and an Integromat account. Both of those links for signups are in the description of the video. In this case, I actually use the use case of having a YouTube sign up board. So I have a list of fake names with some emails that I have access to, just so we could test this out. And I'm gonna send an email that prompts somebody to subscribe and like videos on my YouTube channel. Once you have your board all set up, all you need to do is you need to produce a webhook. We're gonna do that in Integromat right now. Now that I'm in my Integromat account now, I'm gonna click on this node and I'm going to select webhooks. Now, you may not see these 3 options immediately in your Integromat. All you have to do is type in webhooks, and it's going to be the red icon, and then we're going to click on custom webhook. When I do this, I want to click add, and I'm going to put YT subscribe webhook. I don't need any IP as restrictions for this. This is a very basic webhook. Hit save. That's going to produce a link that I'm going to use to put into the integration piece of my Monday.com. I'm going to copy the link, and then I'm going to go back over to Monday.com. Next, I'm going to click integrate, and I'm going to type in webhooks. This specific webhook, I'm going to trigger with the status change. Earlier, you may have seen a column that said email ready, and the 2 options within email ready are no and yes. I'm going to have this change when the status is changed to yes. I'm going to paste that webhook into the webhook URL, then I'm going to click connect. Click on status change, email ready, something, and then click yes. Add to board. That's it. Now that my webhook is set up, let's go ahead and test the first run of the webhook. Testing the first run of the webhook is really important because I want to make sure that data is going from Monday.com to my webhook in Integromat. To do that, we're going to right-click webhooks, and I'm going to hit run this module only. This is basically waiting for webhook information to be received. So now I need to trigger the webhook. I'll go back to Monday.com, and then I'll change this line from no to yes. Once we got back to Integromat, we can already see that information was pushed over with this little bubble. I click on here. In order to see the raw data, I'll click this button here and hit download outputs. Perfect. I'm already seeing some information. The next thing I need to do is attach a Monday node that receives the information specifically from that line item. I'll click add another module, I'll click Monday, and then I will get an item. Perfect. it's already connected to my Monday.com board, but if you haven't connected to your Monday.com board, it's actually very easy. Just click add and follow the prompts. Now I need an ID. The ID in association to the webhook is going to be my Pulse ID. So I click Pulse ID. Now that I have the Pulse ID in there, I hit OK. Perfect. Now when I run the webhook again, it's going to pull that information from the Monday.com item that's associated to the webhook. So now let's run this all over again, but instead of running one module, we're going to run the whole thing. Move my camera, hit run once, go back to Monday.com, I'll hit no, and then hit yes again to trigger the webhook. Come back to here, and you'll see in sequence the information will be received by the webhook, and then actually be able to pull the information that you need from Monday.com. Perfect. Now, I have all the information broken down as needed from Monday.com. This is actually important because webhooks don't always pull all the necessary information that you need. Maybe you need filed information or anything like that to be able to send a file through the email. In that case, you're going to definitely need this Get an Item Monday node in order to be able to complete other more complex tasks. Next, I'm going to attach my Gmail account and then be able to send an email using HTML through Gmail. I'll click Gmail and I'll hit send an email. Now my email is already attached to this. Again, all you have to do is click add and then follow the Gmail prompts. I'm going to select the recipient. You can have an independent recipient for all emails, or you can actually have the email that's associated to the line item. In this case, I want to make sure that's associated to the line item by clicking here. And then I'll hit add, and the subject will be subscribe to my YouTube channel. Perfect. And content. Now you'll notice under content it says you can use HTML tags. This is the part where I can actually use an HTML-based email and actually paste it in here so that way it actually sends an HTML-based email. So I'm going to go over to my HTML editor and I'm going to copy. This HTML editor is from brackets.io. It's a free code editor that's very, very easy to use. I'll go back and then I'll paste. Perfect. Now what if you want independent information that's associated to that person within the email content? That's actually really easy to do. In this case, within the body of the email, I had a name for test name. I put that name within the HTML code to be a placeholder for where I want the actual name to be populated from the Monday.com line item. So now that I found it, I'm going to delete it. And then I'm going to drag and drop the name right here into that space. Perfect. Excellent. There it is. Put a comma right here just for grammar reasons. And then I'll hit OK. There we go. This is a really, really easy process to do. Now all I need to do is run it one more time. Hit run. Change it from no to yes. And let it follow through. Excellent. Let's see what the email looks like at the very end. Look at that. It sent it just how I built it. There's one more thing that you need to do. Make sure that scheduling is turned on. If you don't have scheduling turned on, then you're going to have to hit run once every single time for the sequence to work. But when scheduling is on, it will do it automatically every time the status is changed within Monday.com. That's it, guys. If you have any comments, concerns, complaints, whines, gripes, or suggestions, feel free to make a comment and I'll review the automation request and maybe I'll make a video. Who knows? Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time. You guys take care.